It's time for a dive into the rabbit hole, the most almond-activating conspiracy theories floating around the internet. In today's segment, we will introduce you to one of the hottest conspiracy theories doing the rounds, the story of QAnon on the Chans. Someone very, very close to President Trump has been dropping crumbs about global events from behind the scenes. He calls himself Q. He started at the end of October on 4chan, and has continued since then, moving to 8chan when 4chan became compromised. What he claims is going on is absolutely staggering. He has posted irrefutable evidence that he is who he says he is. He predicted President Trump's Twitter being shut down. He predicted the upheaval in Saudi Arabia. He predicted an incident with a helicopter at a Rothschild estate in the UK 2 days before it happened. He predicted a terrorist attack by a Bangladeshi national involving fireworks the day before it happened. He has posted original photographs taken from Air Force One. Some of his phrases and terminology have been independently confirmed as belonging to military intelligence. He really is an insider with, one might even say, Q clearance. The bulk of his material has been in the form of a list of questions that mostly answer themselves. It is theorized that this form of dropping information is very difficult to detect by semantic analysis and may have given him a head start, not being detected early on. He has also made liberal use of the term +++, which apparently causes trouble for some scraper software. As well as leaking hints as to what's going on behind the scenes, Q is also pasting coded instructions to the teams of watching operators. They may be copies of instructions sent over other secure channels, or they may be the real live instructions themselves. We think that, at least once, they were real instructions. So what's the big deal with the leaks? What are we talking about?
Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Matrix.
Q says 80% of this battle will never see the light of day, but it is happening. It's very real, and the ramifications will one day extend to the entire planet. The triangle. 3 families, 3 sides of a triangle. $7 trillion in wealth. Q labeled them +++, and plus. He named them too: Saud, Rothschild, and Soros. These are the 3 families who run the world by financing wars, creating terror, and implementing the systems that affect our daily lives in every possible way you could imagine. One side of the triangle falls. November the 4th, Crown Prince Al-Waleed bin Talal, plus a dozen others, was arrested in Saudi Arabia. The arrests were preceded by a global WhatsApp outage and a strange tweet from the President Trump asking Saudi's national oil company Aramco to invest on the New York Stock Exchange. This tweet was obviously a go-go-go signal to the Saudis to start their crackdown. Bin Talal is no ordinary prince. He owns more of Twitter than anyone else, plus major stock holdings in Citigroup, other tech startups, and interestingly the top 4 floors of the Mandalay Bay Hotel. He is, or was, a very big deal in geopolitics. The next side shows cracks. The Rothschilds own every single central bank in the world bar a handful. On November 20th, an air accident claimed the lives of a number of people next to a Rothschild estate in the UK. This would have been just another tragedy, but for the warning Q provided 2 days prior in the austere code used by military intelligence.
Conf DTT V891-06000 yes green 10600 bunker apple yellow sky +1 yes Godspeed Q.
In English, this means the mission by Tan Trung, captained by Mike Green, was to capture Lord Rothschild in Aylesbury and others if they could. But the helicopter was intercepted by someone, and the mission failed, as Q explained later. Q has taunted Linda Rothschild in his messages. Distress calls to others will do you, family, no good at this stage. We know where you, the family, are at all times and can hear you breathing. Q. The third side. The third family is represented by George Soros, a Hungarian Jew turned Nazi sympathizer who foments revolutions and civil unrest all over the West through his Open Society Foundation. Although there have been no visible moves against Soros, it is telling that he recently transferred the bulk of his personal wealth into his foundation, a move that probably won't work in the long run. Why? The vast majority of the elites are Satan worshippers who sacrifice children to the ancient god of Moloch. They run the global child trafficking networks to supply themselves with vulnerable children to murder, rape, and harvest for organs and blood to keep them young. Their 100-year plan, which kicked off in the middle of World War I, was meant to completely subjugate the West through cultural subversion. It is quite likely, although not yet confirmed, that Hollywood and most of Washington, D.C. are full of pedophiles. How many Hollywood personalities and media executives have resigned because of accusations of sexual impropriety? Has Pizzagate really been debunked? Are there 101 coded references to cult behavior in the leaked emails of Hillary Clinton, John Podesta, and his brother Tony? What do these people like to do on a Friday night with their friends from Hollywood? Well, what a conspiracy theory. President Trump, a secret operator called Q, the Rothschilds, George Soros, the House of Saud, helicopter crashes, photos over North Korea, and child sacrifices to a satanic figure called Moloch. I think this is a conspiracy theory that really takes the cake, and we will follow this one with interest as we go further down the rabbit hole. Check out the Book of Q. It's an extremely comprehensive guide to reading Q, along with all his posts, infographics with connections and maps, background information, and a guide to the Chan culture.